Good evening and welcome to our newscast. I'm Akhtar Nawaz. Tonight we're diving deep into the most pressing issues impacting our nation and the world. From escalating trade tensions between superpowers to critical legal battles and heart-wrenching tragedies, we've got you covered. Our commitment is to deliver the news with clarity, depth, and unwavering integrity. We believe in empowering you, our viewers, with the information you need to understand the complexities of our times, so let's delve into the stories shaping our world today. The trade war between the United States and China shows no signs of abating, with the Biden administration reportedly preparing to impose new tariffs on high-tech imports from China. These tariffs, targeting sectors like semiconductors and artificial intelligence, could have far-reaching consequences for both economies and the global supply chain. The move comes amidst growing concerns over China's technological ambitions and its impact on U.S. economic and national security. However, critics argue that escalating tariffs could harm American consumers and businesses, already grappling with inflation and supply chain disruptions. The stakes are high as both nations navigate this complex economic standoff. In a significant legal development, a federal judge has upheld a controversial Trump-era rule requiring immigrants living in the country illegally to register with the government. The ruling has reignited the debate over immigration enforcement and the rights of undocumented immigrants. Supporters of the decision argue that it's a necessary step to track individuals residing in the country illegally and ensure compliance with immigration laws. However, opponents contend that it creates fear and uncertainty within immigrant communities and could lead to racial profiling and discrimination. The legal battle is far from over, with appeals expected to follow. A proposed policy within the White House regarding interactions with reporters who use gender pronouns has sparked intense debate and accusations of hostility towards the LGBTQ+ community. The policy, reportedly under consideration by some officials, would allow White House staff to ignore or refuse to answer questions from reporters who publicly state their pronouns. Critics argue that the policy is discriminatory and sends a chilling message about the administration's commitment to inclusivity and respect for transgender and non-binary individuals. The White House has yet to issue an official statement on the matter, but the controversy has already drawn sharp condemnation from LGBTQ+ advocacy groups and some lawmakers. Chapter 4. The State Department has instructed its staff to report any instances of perceived anti-Christian bias within the Biden administration, a move that has drawn both praise and criticism. The request comes amidst concerns from some conservative groups about a perceived hostility towards Christianity within the government. Supporters of the move argue that it's essential to ensure that religious freedom is protected for all Americans, regardless of their faith. However, critics view it as a politically motivated attempt to sow division and cast doubt on the administration's commitment to religious tolerance. The State Department has defended its request, stating that it's part of a broader effort to promote religious freedom globally. Chapter 5. El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele is in Washington this week for high-level talks with U.S. officials, with immigration emerging as a key point of discussion. President Bukele is seeking greater cooperation from the United States in addressing the root causes of migration from Central America, including poverty, violence, and climate change. The visit comes as the Biden administration faces ongoing challenges at the U.S.-Mexico border, with a surge in migrants fleeing Central America. President Bukele has been a vocal critic of U.S. immigration policies, but he has also expressed a willingness to work with the Biden administration on finding solutions. Chapter 6. A Pennsylvania man is facing serious charges, including attempted murder and terrorism-related offenses, after allegedly setting fire to the governor's residence. The suspect, identified as 32-year-old John Doe, was apprehended near the scene of the crime shortly after the fire broke out. Authorities are still investigating the motive behind the attack, but preliminary reports suggest that Doe may have been motivated by political grievances. The incident has raised concerns about the safety of public officials and the potential for politically motivated violence. Chapter 7. Wisconsin teenager accused of plotting to assassinate president. In a chilling case that has sent shockwaves across the nation, A Wisconsin teenager stands accused of murdering his parents as part of a larger plot to assassinate the president and overthrow the government. The 17-year-old suspect, whose name has not been released due to his age, was apprehended by authorities after a nationwide manhunt. According to law enforcement officials, the teenager had amassed a cache of weapons and explosives and had detailed plans to attack the White House. The case has raised serious concerns about the radicalization of young people online and the potential for domestic terrorism. Tragedy has struck the world of college football with the news that a former LSU wide receiver has died in an apparent suicide during a police pursuit in Texas. The player, identified as 24-year-old Player Name, was a standout athlete at LSU and had a promising future ahead of him. Details surrounding the incident remain scarce, but police say that Player Name led officers on a high-speed chase before crashing his vehicle and then taking his own life. The news has sent shockwaves through the LSU community and the wider football world, with many expressing their condolences and grappling with the loss of a young talent. A devastating private plane crash in upstate New York has claimed the lives of all 6 people on board, including the 2022 NCAA Woman of the Year. The plane, a single-engine aircraft, went down in a wooded area shortly after takeoff from a local airport. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the crash, but preliminary reports suggest that engine failure may have been a factor. The crash has sent shockwaves through the athletic community, as the NCAA Woman of the Year was a rising star in her sport and a role model for young athletes across the country. Tech giant Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, is facing a landmark antitrust trial that could reshape the social media landscape. The lawsuit, brought by the Federal Trade Commission and a coalition of states, accuses Meta of engaging in anti-competitive practices to maintain its dominance in the social media market. The trial is expected to be lengthy and complex, with potential implications for the future of online competition and data privacy. If successful, the lawsuit could force Meta to divest itself of Instagram and WhatsApp, effectively breaking up the tech giant. The outcome of this trial will have far-reaching consequences for the tech industry and the millions of users who rely on Meta's platforms. That's all for today's top trending news stories. From trade wars and legal battles to heartbreaking tragedies and pivotal trials, the world continues to present us with complex challenges and evolving narratives. Our commitment here is to provide you with the information you need to navigate these complexities and engage in meaningful conversations about the issues shaping our world. Stay informed, stay curious, and most importantly, stay connected to the human stories behind the headlines. I'm Akhtar Nawaz. Thank you for trusting us with your time and attention.